Hello, welcome back everybody to Be a Legend. And after a season where we got promoted on the last day but lost out in the cup competition, it's time for our end of season review and transfer special. Welcome. Hello and welcome to episode 20 of To Be a Legend. My name is Mark, and on today's episode we have that review of the season just gone and a look forward to the new season, as well as a look in the transfers to see what we'll be doing and where we need to strengthen, etc, etc. If you've just joined us, don't forget to subscribe and also to keep up to date with all the new episodes. And also, if you've enjoyed the series so far and you haven't subscribed, please do that subscription. And also, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up. It all helps on YouTube. Right, okay, without any more to do, you will see from this first screen that Southend, who had been trailing us in the league pretty much for, well, in fact we've been behind them for most of the season, actually did win through in the playoffs, and they beat Hartlepool by on penalties, as it was, in the end, the day after we were there at Wembley. And so they will be joining us in League 2 next season. So let's have a quick look at the table as it finished with everything in place, and you will see top of the table we got there by 2 points in the end. We won 30 of our 46 games, drew 9, lost 7, 94 goals for, 41 against, a goal difference of 53. Southend, who were promoted as well, 31, 7 drawn, 9 losses, so reverse of the drawn and lost, 77 goals for, 36 against, so they were the best defence, I think, in the league. Next best was Chesterfield on 38, so they were very good defensively. We weren't bad, but we were just a little bit behind them, but obviously scoring lots more goals at the other end. Other people scoring lots of goals were Stockport County, I can see in there, and I saw another 85, didn't I, there somewhere, Hartlepool, scoring highly as well. So lots of goals scored in that column there. So 99 and 97, and then next best was Stockport County on 91, so good little bit of a gap there. I'll leave you to see if you've got a favourite team in this league where they finished up. But going down into the Vanarama North and South, Wealdstone, Dulwich Hamlet, Kings Lynn Town and Maidenhead will be disappearing down to the next layer for next season whilst we go the other way. What I do like to do very quickly at this stage is just have a quick look through these, just pinch it down a little bit more. So home records, 23 games played at home, and we were 2 points better than Aldershot at home. We won 17, drew 3, lost 3 at home, 49 for, 19 against, and had a goal difference of 30, 54 points at home compared to Aldershot's 52, and Southend there on third in this particular table on 50 points. Away from home, slightly different. Southend were better away from home by 2 points over us, and we were 2 points better than Stockport County. We lost 4 at home, 4 away from home, 45 goals scored, 22 against away from home, a goal difference of 23, so still got a better goal difference as it turned out. So that's the away table. You'll see these teams still doing down here. The first half of the season, again, just 2 points better than Southend in the first half of the season, and Stockport and Chesterfield, so very close first half of the season. And I think most of that time we were second, and then the second half of the season we actually were worse. Aldershot had the better of the second half of the season, 1 point better than us and Southend, as it turned out. So it looks like that first half of the season was actually the bit that got us the top spot. Must have been top at the end of the first half then, as it turned out. Right, combined we've already seen, but a bit more detail in there. Home and away thing. Last 5 games, so the run-in, Aldershot were best. How does that work? How does that work? We've got 5 straight wins there. And they've got a lost at the end there, which I'm not sure how that works. But clearly they won all 5, so that looks like that might be wrong. 15 points, so we're equal on points with them on the run-in. It was Southend's run-in that blew it for them. 11 points they gained on that run-in. So there was the 4 points that we were managed to overtake them. And if we have a look at the media predictions, media prediction had us down for 14th. We actually finished first. Southend, they had us third, finished second. Stockport 5th and finished third. Aldershot finished 4th, and they had them down as 6th. Who did they have to go up? Solihull Moors, who only finished 9th. Leyton Orient was predicted to go up 2nd, but they only finished 8th. And then going down, Wealdstone did slightly better than going down, but pretty much the media prediction of 21, 22, 23, 24, it was only Wealdstone that really jumped that. Everybody else dropped down one, so that bottom cluster were pretty much what they expected to happen. We just beat expectations, basically. Right, without any more to do, I think it's through to our first bit then. Having had a look at the table, quick revision of what was what, let's have a proper review of the season 2021-2022. And here we are, the end of season. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Thought I pressed something and I hadn't done so. Yes, so the end of season review for Chorley 2021-2022. Just a little bit of a disclaimer. If we look at something specifically as we go through here, which we will do, it will jump back to the start. We will have to go back through again. So apologies at the outset. Something that that maybe SI can fix going forward. It's it's not a great problem to somebody normally playing the game, I guess, but for us content creators, if we're doing this sort of thing, it does prove a little bit of a pain in the neck, so to speak. Right, new arrivals, people coming in. Dylan Thompson, yeah, it's a bit of a worry because he's on his way out or going. So he made 20 appearances for us, scored 1 goal, 1 assist, 7.12. So actually did quite well out of there. Bo Anderson came in on loan from Sheffield United, 7 appearances. He got a 7.09. Kyle Jameson came in from Oldham, 32 appearances, 2 from the bench, 1 assist, 7.08. Amari Sterling James came from Kidderminster Harriers, 41 appearances, 4 from the bench, 12 goals, 7 assists, that's a 7.05. Jed Garner, who came from Fleetwood, came from our associate team. I think it was associate team. 7 appearances, 6 from the bench, 4 goals, 2 assists, 7.05. And then we have Kane Felix, Fudacek, Harrison Biggins, Dwyer, Hughes, which I'm surprised he didn't actually score higher, Jim O'Brien, Keel Wright, Owen Dodgson, Chris Murray, Jameer South Thomas, who went out on loan, Coca coming on loan, Gallagher Allison, Sean Wilson and Tom Scott. They were all our incomings for the season and the better of them. Transfers out, Lewis Dutton went to Bangor City. He made 36 appearances when he got there, 6.94. Elliot Newby went to Maidstone for just over 4,500. In the end, he made 40 appearances for them, 5 as substitute, scored 7 goals, made 6 assists, so he did quite well there. 6.90. Lewis Isherwood went to Basingstoke, made 11 appearances, 12 onto the bench, 6.76. Michael Collins, who we brought in, 30-year-old midfielder, did quite a good job for us in that first season in the Vanarama North. 5 appearances, 6 from the bench, a 6.61. And then Luke Trotman went to Fylde, and Charlie Savage went to Barnsley for just over £8,000. Didn't get a look in. I wonder why. Loans out, yes, with Dylan Thomas and Jamel South Thomas, as we've already mentioned those. Dylan Thomas went to FC United and Jamel South Thomas went to Hereford. So we go through to a season to remember. How it unfolded, board expectation was to avoid relegation from the Vanarama National League. We finished first, an average home gate of 2,490, that's 60% of capacity. Lewis Riley, 33 goals from that, and the board were delighted, and we've already looked at the table. Don't think we need to look at the scores. Were there any? Maidenhead United 5-1 win there. I think that was our biggest win, actually. We'll probably see in a short while. The FA Cup, board expectation was to reach the first round. We reached the second round, so they were happy. Again, 2,490 our capacity. Top scorers Cardwell, Riley and Sterling James all scoring 2 goals, knocked out by Wigan in that 4-0 trouncing. And to get there, we beat Fylde 4-2 and Halifax Town 4-0. So that's how that all panned out. The Builder Base FA Trophy, we know that we lost in the final. They wanted us to reach the second round. We ended up as runners-up, so they were delighted. Lewis Riley scoring 3 goals was the top scorer. I'm sure he scored more goals through that. I mean, we scored all these goals. How did we get there? We beat Fylde again. Boston United, Fylde, took 2 attempts at Hartlepool, 2 attempts at Boreham Wood, and then a home and away against Stockport County for the semi-final, which we won 2-0. And then lost 1-0 to Chesterfield in the final. But all said and done, we beat expectations, I think. Yeah, as mentioned, the 5-1 win against Maidenhead was the biggest win of the season in the Vanarama National League way back in September. Riley scoring 2 goals, Cardwell scoring 2 goals, and Sterling James on the score sheet in that occasion. A match to remember was the 4-0 win against Halifax Town in the FA Cup. Cardwell with 2 goals and Sterling James again with 2 goals. And then the goal of the season was scored by Lewis Riley in the game against Dagenham and Redbridge on the 18th of April, just not that far ago. You probably remember it. And I'm sure, yes, it was, because it was the last episode of the proper episode of the full season. So this was the goal. Oh, sorry about the speakers. Lovely goal from Riley. We see that again without the speakers on. Free kick from him. Goalkeeper did get his hands to it, but obviously driven with quite a ferocity in order to get that pass. There you go. As I promised, it will go back to this screen, so we'll have to work our way through again. That was the goal of the season. And there we go. Success definitely helped the finances. We've moved from a 1-star local reputation to a 1.5-star regional representation. So that's done us good. No new sponsorships, overall sponsorship deals or notable deals. Sponsorship last year was 38,097 compared to 17 in the last season. Broadcast revenue was up, corporate hospitality up, prize money definitely up, and match day commercial was up, which is all good stuff. And then a total merchandise sales of 23,500, of which non-domestic is 2.32. We sold 463 shirts, and the top of the pile was Riley, of course, Cardwell, Ogunby, Sterling and Biggins. Our team of the season, this is how we lined up, and this I think is what they expected to be. We rotate the team a fair amount this season. However, our key players played a major role in how the season turned out, and the team is Matt Irwin in goal, Dwyer, Jameson, Baines and Hughes in defence, Akil Wright at the base and midfield, Harry Biggins, is it Harry Biggins? Harrison Biggins, sorry, Charlie Savage, in midfield, and then Sterling James and Ogunbi and attacking midfield, and Lewis Riley, of course, up front with that 7.35. That was the team of the season. Accolades. Well, I won the Manager of the Month in October, February and April, and also ended up with the Vanarama National League Manager of the Year. Thank you very much. Fans, players, so this is the club awards. Fans, player of the season, Lewis Riley. Young player of the season, also Lewis Riley. Signing of the season was Sterling James. Goal of the season, we've already seen it from Lewis Riley. Top goal scorer, 33 goals, was Lewis. Most assists, Lewis. He didn't win everything, with 8. And most player of the match awards, 12, also Lewis Riley. And the highest average rating at 7.4. Let's try that again. A 7.4 for Harry Cardwell. Makes me wonder why I didn't play him for longer. I think when Lewis Riley got his bit between his teeth and he was in there, he actually stayed there pretty much. A Vanarama National League player of the season was Lewis Riley, and top goal scorer also Lewis Riley. So he's won everything. He's wiped the floor. If he got £1,000 for all these things, he's done very well. Record breakers, most goals by a player in a match, Lewis Riley with 3. That's no great huge thing, is it? Most goals by a player in a league match was also 3. Youngest player was Samuel Akoka, 18 years and 55 days. Fastest goal was Lewis Riley on 23 seconds. And Tim, as we called him, because we could never pronounce his surname, 18 years and 224 days, was the youngest goal scorer in the team. And so the final roundup then, before we move on to the transfers, we already know about the league table. Vanarama National League, Chorley were runners-up, I think it was. Oh no, that's National League trophy. And some comments here. A remarkable season for Chorley. Started superbly, never let up. They are deservedly going up. That was Donald Doherty from Team Talk. And your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season awards ceremony. So there is our roundup of the season. As you'll see, lots of stuff going on here. Club visions, end of season meetings, and so on and so forth. I can tell you though, we are going professional. Let's go on our time machine to the 1st of June and do a first roundup of what's happening with transfers. Well, as you join us, the answer to that question is pretty much absolutely nothing. And as you'll see, Bo Anderson was the last loanee in, and Jamir South Thomas was the last one going out. So nothing happening on that front currently, which takes us through to here. So because I think what we're going to do is have just a quick look at where we need to do a bit of shoring up. We have a few trialists in, as you will see by the green players in here. Let's have a look and see where we go. So we'll start from the back. Matt Irwin had a fantastic season in goal, really, for us on that run in, and I think it was his positivity. But I think possibly we do need to be looking at potentially another goalkeeper here. All very much of a similar. We need just somebody a little bit stronger in that goalkeeper role. So maybe a goalkeeper, a left-sided defender. I mean, Dwyer played really well come the end of the season, but I think we need to sort of be looking there. Central defence. We brought in Bo Anderson, but I think he'll be going. So we need to bring in another 3.5, 4-star defender in that position. And then on this side, we've got Hughes and Goenfi. I think we're okay on the right side of defence as it currently stands. Maybe another one on this because Chris Merry tends to play in central midfield. So and Dodgson's not quite there. So another 3.5-star left-sided defender. And then defensive midfield, possibly. Christian Ngessen is a 3.5 star. I think we're looking for sort of 3.5 star people realistically for that. Central midfield, not too bad actually. Chris Murray is a 4 star, and Harrison Biggins is a 3.5 star. So I think we're okay there. Possibly, again, Christian Nguessen, who can play in any of those roles, may be a stalwart for us. Left side of midfield, always a problem. Sterling James is there at the moment. He's 28. We need to be looking to try and back him up a little bit. And I think we definitely need to strengthen on that left side of midfield. As I say, looking pretty much for 2 in each position, so that we can swap around between those 2, and maybe the odd one that can play in multiple positions, that if we get injuries, etc, etc. Right side on the attacking midfield, then we got Ogunbi as is usual. Benny Ashley Seal, we've got him on loan. Those of you that may have watched the original series from bottom to the top with Bradford Park Avenue, he was actually with us there and played really, really well. So Benny Ashley Seal may come in from Northampton. He's a 3.5 star, so he would be good on that right. A little bit ahead of Kane Felix, but Kane Felix can play there, and he could be our backup, as I said, if needs be, but he can also play up here as well. Not that he features in that list anymore. Lewis Riley is top of the pile. We do have a couple of other options there. Josh Andrews, another 3.5 star striker, as is Benny Ashley Seal, to be fair. And then Cardwell is our backup. So I think we're perfectly all right strikers wise, potentially, as it stands. And then if we bring a couple more in as well that can play there as backup. So goalkeeper, pretty much across the not the right side of defence, but left and central mid defence, we could probably do with one. And I'm thinking possibly another defensive midfielder. So that area of the pitch is the pitch we want to do, and left side attacking midfield is a definite. Well, left and right of the attacking midfields are key areas to look at and see what we can do. Right, that's our first round up. It's time for us to jump forward to July the 1st and see if we've actually managed to bring anybody in at that juncture of time. And here we are on the 1st of July, and as you will see, we have a little bit of activity going on at last, he says. Right, Bo Anderson was the last one in. We've brought in Reece Bennett, so we've picked up a few off of the old release. The big teams release their players, so we have brought a couple in. Reece Bennett. He will be joining us. He is a central defender, last at Manchester United, so he's gonna join up with his old pal Hughes on the right there, he's a 4-star current ability, potentially a 5-star ability. Fits all the things, looks good. Central defender, no nonsense centre back. I think he should be a good fit for us. Didn't check. He is 18 years old, so he's got a while to develop, as they say. Marcus Ilfil, he comes in from Brighton. We talked about left-sided. He isn't that fantastic at the minute. He's 18 years old. He has got potential. He is already wanted by Southport on loan. Not sure you can have him Southport, especially as you're in. Oh, did I say Southport or South? Oh, I thought it was Southend for a minute. I was going to say no chance. But he does have the potential to be 4, potentially even 5-star. So we bought him as potentially one for the future. So we need to hang on to him, see how he develops over this season. He might not be somebody that is for this season, but if he comes on, we'll give him some games, but I think he's more likely to be under 23s this season, with a view to coming through next season. Plenty of technique. First touch is good, dribbling's good, and pace and acceleration's also very good. So he's got a bit of flair as well. So let's see how that one develops. We need to develop him into a left-sided midfield, attacking midfield, can play in both. Oliver Kilner, he comes in also from Manchester United. He is a 3-star right-sided defender. Not quite sure we brought him in, but we have brought him in. I think he stacks up quite well. Also gives us a bit, I think also because Gumphy is being chased, people want him. If we lose him, then we want a little bit of extra backup in that right defensive role. So Oliver Kilner will come in there, obviously meeting up with his old mates, old muckers from Manchester United in Hughes and Bennett. So that's so far. That is what's coming in there. We have Alan Moore. We have a few more. This is still showing up on last season's because it doesn't trick over until the end of June, I think it is. So these were we signed up, but obviously have only just come in to us. Alan Moore has gone out to Burton Albion under 18s on a freebie. Didn't really want to lose him, but somehow there seems to be something peculiar in FM. They can snatch him off us. His current ability is 3.5 stars, we've lost out to him, Alan Moore, just 17 years old, so a future prospect. I'm sure he is. Good luck to him wherever he may go. Right, let's move to this season then, and you'll see we have brought in a couple of players from Liverpool, of all places. Fidel O'Rourke. Oh, hang a minute, let's sort him out. Fidel O'Rourke, he's down as a striker, but can play in this right midfield, which is probably where we will play him more often than not. It's 4-star in that position. He's only 3.5 star as an attacker, so he's actually better as a winger, albeit he's down as a striker. But that's where he's going to play, he stacks up quite well. So he's 4-star current ability, and he's got the potential to be 4 to 5-star potential ability. Just 20 years old. Fidel O'Rourke. Remember the name. And Liam Coyle, midfielder, can play in various positions. He can play as a defensive midfielder. We said earlier that we wanted a defensive midfielder. He could well be it. Can also play up front in a 2 pairing. He can also play on the right side of defence. He's a 3-star there. He can play 2.5 star in the central defence. If we get an injury and need to push somebody back, he could go back into that position. But his best position is as a defensive midfielder. Can also play out on the he can play wing back as well if we require him to. So he's a bit versatile in that area of the pitch. Currently 3.5 star current ability. He's got potential to be 4.5 star ability. So as you can see, we have somebody there that I think will give us a little bit of oomph, plenty of aggression, determination, leadership, which is good. We're looking for leaders. Teamwork, work rate, acceleration, pace, etc., and he's good at tackling, which we want in a good, decent defensive midfielder. So we're going to hope he shores us up. So there are our transfers so far. We haven't looked at the finances yet. We have 283,000 budget for transfer budget, and nearly 29,000 in wages. So we're well under our wages. Don't think we're going to hit that this season. So we're going to be good boys, or I'm going to be a good boy this season. With that, let's have a quick look back here how we're getting on. We do have this guy, Harvey Blair. He's in on trial, and I'm really thinking we want him. He is currently a 3.5 star. He's got potential to be 4.5 star, both as an attacker and also as attacking midfield, left and right. Sounds like my sort of man. Move him around, can play in any of those 3 attacking positions, so he could be good for us. We have brought in Liam Coyle, but we also have this guy has appeared, Marcel Lavinaire. Can play pretty much, apart from central defence, can play in any of those roles. So we're going to investigate him for sure. He's 3.5 star, potential to be a 5-star, 4-star, definitely 5-star, possibly, but he is wanted by a number of other clubs, Blackpool specifically, but he is a free agent. I think we need to move on him fairly quickly if we're going to try and get him in. You also see that we've got a few goalkeepers in, but nobody is stacking up. Now we've brought them in, pulled Matt Irwin down a little bit. Fodacek is coming through as the best goalkeeper, as a 3-star, but I think Matt Irwin and Fodacek were 3 stars each, and we've pulled them down a little bit. But I think, you know, with FM, as you pull in players and they are a better calibre, then what actually happens is these players drop down a little bit because they're not stacking up quite as well as the others. And you also, Bennett, you saw having been brought in, he is #1 defender now, 4-star defender, and Lavina can also play in that position. He's 3-star, potentially 4-star defender. But I think this is probably where we want him, here and here. Those 2 positions could be fantastic. Can also play on the right as well in place of Hughes. Nice utility player. I like it. Right, without any more to do, we're going to jump pretty much to the start of the season, round up on the rest of the transfers if we've made some, and also a look at our first foray with the fixtures and what have you in the League 2. I was going to say something else then, but in League 2. And here we are, our final foray then into the transfers information. And how are we looking? Well, Liam Core was the last one that you saw him. We did get Harvey Blair in the end. You saw him he was in on trial. A free agent, originally at Liverpool as well. So he joins up with Fidel O'Rourke and Liam Core, but obviously was part of that list of players that have been released, but he'd actually, by the time we got to him, he had actually been released. So Harvey Blair comes in, can play on either side of this attacking midfield, also as a striker, 4-star inverted winger, 4-star inside forward, potential to be a 5-star as well. So he's looking quite good for us. Certainly improves the trajectory there. Max Broughton, another central defender, he has come in on loan from Rotherham, 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential with a 5-star overall, but again stacks up quite well. So he will come in as extra fodder for that particular area, especially as Lewis Baines is there's a lot of people touting him, so I'm thinking we might lose him before the transfer window slams shut, because now we're in League 2. It does actually shut, unlike in the Vanarama League. It's open pretty much all season. It does actually slam shut on us, and we can only bring in free agents then, certainly through to January. Bentley Ashley Seal, we talked about him. He's actually come in, adds a little bit of extra, can play on that right side of midfield, can also play up front. He's only a 2.5-star up front, but a 3-star on that wing. We'll see how he goes. Not absolutely fantastic, but he will give us a little bit. He's got acceleration, good pace. His finishing is quite good. First touch is lacks a little bit. He's all right at penalty taking. Yeah, I think his work rate's good and stuff like that. So I think he will add a little bit of variety. And finally, for the moment, Bryn Morris. He's a central midfielder, can play as a defensive midfielder. He's only 2.5 stars, so he's not fantastic, but can go up to a 3.5-star potential. He is 26-year-old, so looking really for a little bit of experience in that particular area. He comes in from Portsmouth, was at Middlesbrough. He's worked his way through. He's been around a lot on loans and stuff, but we brought him in from League 1 Portsmouth. So he's played in League 1. He knows what Football League is all about, albeit he's appearing to go down at the minute on a lot of these stats, which isn't good, but we'll get him up and running, and hopefully that will turn around and come back the other way a little bit. So Bryn Morris is for the moment is our final incoming, and Dylan Meredith, as we expected, has left us. He's gone to Bournemouth on a free. Dylan Meredith, that wasn't who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Dylan Thompson, wasn't I? Is he still with us? No, he's gone to Huddersfield. Where did he go to Huddersfield then? Oh, there he was, Dylan Thompson. No. He must have snuck out the back door. Naughty boy. Dylan Thompson. It's gone to Huddersfield. Okay. I'm not sure why it doesn't show up on there. There must be a reason for that. Somebody tell me in the comments what I'm missing. What am I missing? I don't know, to be fair. What's gone on there? Final look at this particular table. We like this one, squad depth, to see where we're at. So Lewis Riley, we're not too bothered with Harvey Blair here, albeit we may play him there. What's he finishing like? Yeah, we might play him there, give him a run out. It depends on how Lewis Riley gets on. We have, as you see, still some greens in here. McAteer, nobody of ilk, nobody standing out. We are looking at this guy, Landolo, Ellis Landello. He is from Swindon Town. Has played obviously in the Football League, both at League 2 and League 1. So he's good. Played a little short while on loan in Sutton United, but I think he could be quite good as backup. Well, not backup, but in that area. Seem to have lost Dwyer for some reason. He's dropped off. Not quite sure why that is. Hughes and Kilner on that right side. Gimfrey's dropped down a little bit, but he's there. And then we've got Josh McNamara and Hall are our goalkeepers that we're looking to say. Still trying to beat this. Still trying to get a 4-star goalkeeper. Working on it. Not having much luck up thing. Hopefully that person will bubble to the top at some point. Right. Without any more to do, quick look at the pre-season. We have played at some friendlies. We've lost one against Fleetwood, which is our associate club. Otherwise, we've had a 3-0 win against Colville, a 4-0 win against Scarborough Athletic, 1-0 against Curzon Ashton, 4-0 against Bradford Park Avenue. You will note from that we haven't conceded any goals apart from this one here. But otherwise, we've done quite well in front of goal. And we've got a bit of a tough start to the season. Huddersfield in the EFL Cup first round. Huddersfield currently a championship side, so I don't fancy our chances there too much. We'll try and give them a good go, but and then we've got Scunthorpe, an old Scunny, who have bobbed around, been in the championship way back in 09-10, come down and they've bobbled around, dropped down into League 2, back up to League 1. Dropped down in 2018, 2019, and are bobbling around now in League 2, having dropped back out. So they have been a good side and got the potential. And then early on, you'll see we also meet up with our promotion colleagues, Southend from the Vanarama National League. They came up with us, so we'll be playing them again in short time. And then obviously up against a lot of these sides here. So we've got it's definitely a tougher league for sure. So we're going to come back for our first episode of the new season, episode 21. It will be against Huddersfield in the EFL Cup and Scunthorpe in League 2. So there we go. That is our roundup of the season and transfer special. We hope you've enjoyed today's episode. It's given you a bit of insight as to what we're doing, and if you're joining us now, then that's where you're picking up. But I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button so you can keep up to date with all future episodes and of this and new series, of course, and anything else that's coming out in due course. New episodes of To Be a Legend are currently released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. and don't forget to follow me on Twitter at JustOffside2 to keep up to date with all that's happening on this channel, all my current series. And don't forget, if you haven't seen it, there is a beta series that's still running, Gunning for the Top with Arsenal, and you'll know when they're released as well if you're interested. A new series will be coming up when that runs out as well. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to stay tuned to the channel. The next episode of To Be a Legend, our first foray in the Caribou Cup and also League 2. We'll see you on Monday. For now, goodbye.